Hello YouTube, this is B-Boy Torg 1990 and I'm coming at you with my Beast Deity deck profile. Sorry I haven't made some videos in a while, I've been busy. I was at Rome and Prague for spring break, had tests for Calculus 2. And, oh, I forgot to mention, this is before pre-GBT set 6 Beast Deities, because I don't have the new stuff that's coming in on that set yet, so that's why this is the pre-build of Beast Deities. But yeah, Beast Deities is like my favorite Nova Grappler out of like the Victors or Kaisers or any other, or the Kaisers. Beast Deities is my favorite one, so yeah. So for starters, as always, you gotta play the Beast Deity Riot Horn. Basically, if there's something in the same column as him and they stand up, he stands up with them, so you get another. It's basically good attack big again. Works perfectly well with the Hatred Chaos. You hit for big numbers, which I believe is 17,000. There you go. Or you can do with gold and anglet. You'll probably get the same result. Yeah, it's the same thing. But I think Hatred Chaos is better because he doesn't have to be stand to gain the 3k. If he attacks, he just gains 3k. While Anglet, if he stands up, he gains 3k. But I played Anglet for the moment before I get my Jackal Lords. So yeah, that's the starter. I'm gonna start with the grade 3s. So in my grade 3s, I play 4 of the Break Ride. So yeah, the Break Ride is basically it's a limit break 4. There's no cost. You don't have to counterblast. It's just when something rides in it. So let's say like you have a reverse or a extreme, just rides it. It'll be gain of 23,000. And when a vanguard attacks, all the units on the rear guard will stand up instead. Well, in the front will stand up. So this is really good to play. You gotta have your break ride. So 4 is good. I think 4 is good in my opinion. I could do 3, but I could do 3 or 4. I'll play, but not 2, because you want your break rides, because break rides is too good. Next, I play 3 reverse, because the restand is ridiculous. Especially if you break ride with this, it'll be 23,000, and then you can just restand when you finish. At the end of the battle that is attack, you can restand him. And it'll still keep the boost and the triggers, everything. Oh my god. This one's ridiculous. That's why I played 3 of him. I was gonna try 2 and 2 with him and 2 extremes, but I just don't get too much when it's just 2 and 2. So I just try 3 and 1, and my god, it's freaking good. And last but not least, I play 1 extreme because basically he's just the grade 3 version of the Stride Catastrophe, but he also works with the break ride, and it's good when if you can't stride or something, you can just go for him, get your rear guard, stand back up. Because since this whole deck is Beast Deity, the only thing that's not Beast Deity is the Stride Enabler and my crit trigger Red Lightning. It basically I could just restand my rear guards and get more attacks out of it. So yeah, that's my grade 3s. My grade 2s, obviously no explanation. 4 Papios on hit, you just restand a rear guard. Good as a vanguard and rear guard, so it basically you get like more attacks out of it. Then next, no explanation needed. The only explanation you need to know is it's Hatred Chaos. He just gains the 3k when it attacks. Yeah, and plus he boosted with him, as I explained it from the very beginning of this video, is that it would hit for 16,000. I mean, not 16,000, 17,000. And if it stands, it could hit 17,000 again or more if you have triggers. Next, 2 Drago Twists, because 2 Drago Twists instead of 4 or instead of more, because you barely will use his skill a lot. He's a good card, but you won't use his skill many times, so it's best to just play 2 of him. And with that in mind, you just like, you can retire when he restands during battle. So that's a cool thing about with a counter for a counterblast. So that's not bad, but you won't get it a lot often. And the 2 golden anglets, that's a placeholder for now, but he's pretty good because you just stand him and he'll be 12k to the end of the turn. So I mean, if you get Reinhardt behind him, it'll be the same thing as how big Age of Chaos would be if it's behind him, but instead you have to stand him, and sometimes I rarely get him to stand. So yeah, that's why I only play 2 in that more. Now for my grade 1s, I play 4 BCD Perfect Guards, no explanation needed. I play 4 max beat because before max beats you can get more attacks out of it. It's because when he stands, you just counterblast a beast deity and you restand someone else. So this is helpful. Like you boosted a vanguard, I mean not a vanguard, a rear guard, and you got a stand trigger. You stand him, you stand one back up, and say that like it's a Papio, and that hits, you can just restand one from your other rear column, and yeah, and just do more shenanigans. Next, I play 3 Stride Enablers, no explanation needed, and 2 Delimiters. I went 3 for 3, but it was just spacing, and sometimes I will pretty much get to the limit break already with 4 damage or not. So it's like, I think 2 is better because I do want to stride in this deck often. So instead I just do 3 Stride Enablers, 2 Delimiters. Then next up is my trigger lineup. I play 4 Red Lightnings, the unflip damage crit triggers, and 4 Beast Deity crit triggers. Next I play 4 Energy Girls, the restand triggers, because even though it's a GB one, but at the end of the battle that this one boosted a Nova Grappler, I can choose one of my other regards and stand it, and when I do that, I return this to the deck and shuffle. So it works out well because I can return it to the shuffle when I use the skill, and also I could just keep gaining more stands. So, but this is just a placeholder before I get Great Eater. And last but not least, 4 heal triggers. So, yeah. Oh, and I forgot to mention that Beast Energy Girl is another non-Beast Deity. Now for my strides, I play 4 Catastrophes. Basically, it's just the grade 4 version of Extreme. Nothing, but if you have at least 2 of him flipped up or more, your rear guard units will gain 3,000. So that's a good benefit out of it. Next, I play 2 Victoplasmas, the restander. When you counterblast 2 and you persona flip them, you can restand them by discarding 2 cards from your hand. And at the end of the battle, when this one attacks the vanguard, you discard 2 cards from your hand and you just restand them, but you can't use it the second time. So yeah. Next, 1 Tri-Brute. Well, it's just basically just when a rear guard is stand due to effect one of your cards, I pay the cost. And when I do that, the unit will gain 2k, and until the end of the turn, choose one of my opponent's rear guards with attack less than or equal to the unit that was boosted and retire it. So that's not bad, but I barely use it. And 1 Muto Kaiser Vic 10 is also, when it's an on hit, we stand of rear guard and it gains 2k. So yeah, that's my Beast Deity deck profile. So my next video is going to be the Ancient Dragon Tachikazes, and then after that it's gonna be my G Tachikazes, since I just completed it now. So this is B-Boy Torg 1990 saying deuces.